Hello there, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, like always, it's me, your host Amy from Pen Venture, and welcome to another fountain pen review. In this video, we are diving deep into my personal fountain pen collection, and we are going to review a creation coming from Stilograph Corsani as an exclusive fountain pen done with Visconti. If you're watching right now and you don't know who is Stefano and Stilograph Corsani, his pen store, which is based in Rome, and he is a very good friend of mine, and we share a very respectful connection, and I owe him a lot. I actually purchased my first Visconti fountain pen from his store as a new fountain pen, and I'm really happy and proud to have such a friend. He is well known for being a third generation pen seller, so we are talking about many decades of experience in regards of writing instruments, and he put out quite a lot of interesting exclusive editions. Among some of them with Visconti, he is using stacked celluloid as a material for his collections, and I collect all of those fountain pens, and I'm currently missing one, the first one, the Homo sapiens. Other than that, all other collections, I have them. In this video, we are going to review the latest creation, which is named the Blue Dream, and it is a dream fountain pen for sure. In true pen venture style, I'm going to show you the fountain pen, I'm going to show you the details, then I'm going to show you the overall size, proportions and everything, writing sample, and in the end we are going to conclude everything. Let's start with the shopping experience. The fountain pen comes in a box like this. I'm going to show you what you find inside. You find a inkwell with a very nice blue-black ink, the fountain pen, the identity card, and a booklet containing information about the collection, which Stefano kindly stamps with his warranty stamp. Moving further, the fountain pen. I'm going to show you the other ones and in the correct order. This is the first Visconti Stilograph Corsani exclusive that I own, and this is based on the Medici. Another one that's available, it's in stacked celluloid, red, different shape, also faceted. There is a video review for the red one. I'm gonna link the video up here. You can check that and see the fountain pen in more details. And the third one is the green, which I recently welcomed in my personal fountain pen collection. And the last one is the Blue Dream, which is different. It's a take on the Manhattan model from Visconti with a little bit of changes to the overall shape of the fountain pen. Anyway, I'm going to put it side by side, one of my Manhattan model fountain pens, so you can clearly see some of the similarities of these two models. Anyway, let's proceed with a few history facts. Blue Dream, why the name? Well, the name is because Stefano always dreamt of making a fountain pen in this blue stacked celluloid. For those who don't know, blue stacked celluloid is the rarest color from Visconti in regards of celluloid. It was introduced, I believe, with the Wall Street, which is a sort of a take on an opera master, a squared circle shape, and actual celluloid supposed to mimic the skyscraper levels, and it's so beautiful. And actually you can see in between the layers, so it's transparent layers stacked in between with blue celluloid. And in regards of the Wall Street, it was showcased in three different colors: the gray, the red and the green. And actually the blue one was the rarest one, which wasn't advertised and was launched when the three main colors were sold out. So blue is the rarest one. Blue Dream, nice name, nice fountain pen, altogether very nice story. Moving further, the shape of the fountain pen is dictated by the actual, let's say, aspects of the cut rod of celluloid, because celluloid needs to be cured, and in order to be cured, it is cut into pieces to let it gas out. And in the process, you actually stumble upon pieces that, well, maybe they don't fit with your overall theme for a fountain pen. Anyway, Stefano did the best from it, and I love the shape. This is not a faceted fountain pen, and I'm going to start with the cap finial. Right here you can find the V logo from Visconti. We have this finial, which is in, I believe, 2 or 3 levels. It's just like small coins, big one at the bottom, then a smaller one, then a smaller one. Very, very nice, unique, and very, very good looking overall. It is flat, so we have a flat ends fountain pen. The clip is the synonymous Ponte del Vecchio clip with the Visconti lettering and blue enamel. This is a very high-end and very good looking technique to add enamel and to pop out the Visconti lettering on the clip, and I love it because it is identified with Visconti, and it's just like something that's always present in the more modern Viscontis. I know that some of the models feature different clips, but I love the Ponte del Vecchio clip a lot. The cap is following a very nice and streamlined shape. We don't have any sort of deviation in regard of the diameter. Very, very little. Starting from here, flares out a little bit, but I believe it's a 1 or 2 millimeters. 2 sterling silver rings right here, and it's a screw cap. 1 turn of the cap to uncap the fountain pen. The nib is the in-house made 14 karat gold nib by Visconti. It is using a plastic feeder. The nib is very nicely ornated with the 14 karat gold nib motif with the 2 opposite V's that surround the breather hole. Coming down from the breather hole, we can see 14 karat, the size of the nib. For the 14 karat gold nib, you have to choose from different nib sizes. For example, we have available extra fine. On mine I have a fine. Then you can also go for a medium, broad, and a 1.3 millimeter stub. Both the nib and the ABS plastic feed are friction fitted inside the plastic collar, together forming the Visconti nib unit. The nib unit is screwed in the section. The section is made out of celluloid, so this black part right here is celluloid. It is not resin or anything else, and it actually smells like celluloid. I love this fact, and Stefano told me this. If he didn't mention it, I would have not known this. And the choice of the different color for this is that he tried to save as much material as possible for the pen body, and actually I don't mind this at all. Knowing that's also celluloid, the black one, I already am very, very pleased with that. The overall shape of this section is pretty basic. We have this feature that prevents the fingers from slipping towards the nib. Smaller diameter right here near the nib, and it actually grows a little bit in diameter towards the cap threads. The cap threads are quite polished, and we don't have any problems if we grip the fountain pen by those. Anyway, if you do so, it's not a problem at all. We have a small step up, and the barrel continues with the thickest point right here near the threads, and is tapering slightly in towards the end of the barrel. On the barrel we can observe the following engraving: Corsani, and the year in which Corsani in Rome was established, 1924. A lot of years of history and decades of experience, and I respect that. And Stefano, you are an awesome person. Moving further, we have the piston knob, and this operates the filling system. And just before going to the filling system, let me show you what you find right here. We have engraved the number of the limited edition, and this is a limited edition of 70 fountain pens in sterling silver trim. Both these 2 rings are sterling silver, and all of the other trims of the fountain pen are plated in a matching color like the silver. And there is a, let's say, more restrictive part of the collection, 20 pieces which are made in gold color trim, and the 2 rings right here on the cap that you find on the silver one, on the gold one, are made from solid gold. The pricing is different, of course. Gold is more expensive than silver, and you can find that on the Stilograph Corsani website. I'm going to put the links for this fountain pen in the description of this video, and you can check there and see it yourself. Now let's get back to the filling system. For this fountain pen we have a power filler. We don't have the double reservoir feature that prevents ink from coming out. You can actually close the ink behind the piston. With this fountain pen we don't have that option available, and pretty much I don't see a problem with that, and I'm sure that the cost of this fountain pen comes a little bit lower if it doesn't have that feature, so I'm better off without it. This is the details of the Visconti Corsani Blue Sogno, or Blue Dream. That's the translation for the name of the fountain pen. And indeed, it is a dream fountain pen. Now, let me show you how it looks side by side other fountain pens. Here is the Blue Sogno, side by side a Bronze Age Homo sapiens, and it's a touch less in regards of girth, but it is a little bit longer. This is how it's next to a Corsani 90, which is essentially a Visconti Medici. Shape-wise, this is how it looks side by side a Momento Magico in PM1. That's my exclusive. And here we have a Opera Master, the latest one, the Antarctica. As you can closely see, we have an oversized fountain pen, but it is not that thick. It is close to a more vintage style fountain pen, not that thick, and it goes back to the roots of the golden era of fountain pens. Now let's have a look uncapped. Uncapped, the fountain pen sits very, very comfortable in between a Visconti Bronze Age Homo sapiens and a Opera Master. Closed like this, the fountain pen measures 147 millimeters. If we uncap the fountain pen from the tip of the nib till the piston knob, we have 133 millimeters. And if we post the fountain pen like so, the measurement is 175 millimeters from here to here. Capped and posted like this, the fountain pen is weighing 43 grams, and unposted like this is weighing 26 grams. Let's incap the fountain pen and let's have a writing sample with the 14 karat gold nib, which is in-house made, and I can't wait to showcase this beautiful nib in action. In regards of ink, let's use something fancy and also from Stefano, and I have here a bottle of Mont Blanc ink, which is homage to Napoleon. I love this blue, this turquoise blue, and I bet it's going to show very nice in the barrel. Let it sit for a second or two so it can draw ink. Then I'm going to screw this and knob, clean the section, and we have the pen. And this is the Visconti Blue Sogno. That's a G. And this is Italian, and this is a Stilograph Corsani Exclusive. The ink is Mont Blanc. And homage to Napoleon. The nib, 14 karat gold, and that's a fine. It's a pretty fine, and with this 14 karat gold nibs, they write pretty fine. Tomoe River paper, 62 GSM, or I believe it's 68 GSM. I can't remember, 52 and 68, something like this. It's Tomoe River paper, the thicker one. Let's check the wetness. I would say that this is pretty wet, and I bet Stefano is checking all of the nibs, and he had something to do with this wet, gorgeous, fine nib. In regards of normal, figure of eights, this is quite a fine nib. It's not a Japanese fine, but it is on the skinny side of an European fine nib. So if you order something from Visconti in 14 karat gold, go for a fine. If you are looking for something quite fine, apply a little bit of pressure. It does have some give, and it does have some flex, but it's a quite rigid nib. You can obtain some line variation if that's what you need or if that's what you want, but at what cost? Be very careful. If you apply a little bit of pressure, you can make the nib bend to the point that's not going to come back anymore. So be very careful with this 14 karat gold nibs. Now, the famous sentence, let's see if everything works as it should. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. sublime nib, sublime lines. Everything works well, quite smooth for a fine nib, enough wet, and keep that in mind, this ink is not that wet. It's very diluted turquoise ink. It's very dry and the nib performs wonderful. No skippings, no hesitation, nothing whatsoever. We have some feedback, but it's pleasant feedback, and I learned to love feedback. In the more current days, I quite enjoy some feedback. Let's conclude everything in some personal opinions of mine. I don't know where to start because I love this fountain pen and I love how it looks. The overall shape of the fountain pen, the fact that's dictated by the actual size of the pre-cut celluloid makes me very envy, because Stefano put together such an interesting shape for a fountain pen, and everything looks interesting and everything is original, and it draws very good design points from the Manhattan series, and it's going to be put together with the material from the Wall Street, the rarest color, the blue one. And in regards of Stefano, the identity of his shop in regards of exclusive editions with Visconti is stacked celluloid, and I love this fountain pen. I collect all of them. I have them in my collection, and I really think it's a very nice fountain pen. I love the placement of the engraving from the barrel, because if you hold the fountain pen like so and you actually write with it, you will always have a glance of light that shows Corsani 1924. The engraving on the barrel, that's very cheeky and smart, and the placement of that is very nice. Fountain pen writes very I can't explain. The 40 karat gold nibs are very fun, very nice, and everything comes together to form something that's made in house by Visconti with their nib specialists. And I love the 14 karat gold nibs. I went with the fine because me and Stefano both love finer nibs, and I told him to put a fine on my fountain pen. I have all of the other Corsani fountain pens. I'm just missing the Homo sapiens, the first one. I don't intend to use this fountain pen posted. If you post this fountain pen, it's a little bit back heavy, and totally is a fountain pen that's going to be used by me unposted. And it is sort of a different vibe in regards of Visconti, because it's not that chunky, that big, that oversized. It's vintage-ish, it's streamlined, and the beauty of the celluloid is amazing. It's semi-transparent, and I don't want ever to stain this celluloid. So this is why I'm using Mont Blanc inks or Waterman inks. Be very careful if you have these fountain pens, and if you want to keep them pristine as long as possible, use not permanent inks and nothing that stains this beautiful celluloid, because I believe the piston glides in the barrel and there isn't any sleeve of clear plastic that holds the ink. Actual ink touches the inner walls of this celluloid, and it is up to you to keep it pristine and to enjoy it. Some particularities about this fountain pen: you need to know the trick for a full barrel of ink with Power Wax from Visconti, and I have a video of that. I'm going to link it up here if you want to check out how to fill this fountain pen with an entire barrel of ink. If you just plunge one time the piston, it's not going to have a full barrel of ink. You need to do that trick, and there you will find a tutorial for that. Big thumbs up for Stefano, and I enjoyed having this fountain pen in my collection and having the chance to review it for everyone. And thank you very much for spending your time on the Pen Venture YouTube channel. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being here. And if you enjoy content like this and find it useful, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. This will help us a lot. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll find the details for our website, our social media accounts, my email, phone number, anything and everything that you may need to get in contact with us. And also, I know that some of you that are watching right now are not subscribed, so if you want to support the Pen Venture YouTube channel, the growth of this YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. You can do that right now. Just click there and turn the notification bell on. And if you want to see more quality content from Pen Venture and myself, I'm going to leave you this video right here. Click and enjoy. As always, it's me, Emmy, and I look forward to seeing you next video. Take care, stay safe. Bye-bye.